John Clark, and this is an overview of my project, Sentiment Analysis of Twitter Data. Can the specific text of tweets be programmatically parsed to discern the overall mood for various topics? My topic was Major League Baseball, 3 teams in particular, the Boston Red Sox, the New York Yankees, and the New York Mets, 3 teams that have a fan base in the New England area. I created a Twitter application to gain access to the data from Twitter and its API. I used R, specifically Twitter R package, to obtain 10,000 tweets for each of the hashtags. I parsed each tweet in R and obtained a sentiment score. I rescored using Hadoop MapReduce and another custom formula that I created, and I exported the data back into R to compare the 2 different scoring methods. But sentiment analysis is basically computationally determining the mood or opinion of a piece of text. The approach that I took was to define a dictionary of positive and negative words and then count the number of times those words appear in the tweet text. The challenge to this is if the user is being sarcastic, I would get the opposite result. The user could misspell words or intentionally abbreviate the words to fit inside the 140 character limit of Twitter, or they could be using a different language other than English. Approach number 1, the simple count of positive and negative, was based on Jeffrey Breen's work, and I completed it using R. The second approach gave more weight to the tweets that are retweeted or favorite using my custom formula, and I completed this using Hadoop MapReduce. Here you can see that in the map step, I'm applying the formula, and in the reduce step, I'm tallying up the number of times that score exists in the data set. The Red Sox, in both cases, in both scoring methods, seem to have a basically neutral score, which probably had to do with the fact that they had just come off a 3-day losing streak and didn't have a whole lot of happy news to talk about. The Yankees, on the other hand, being winners of that 3-game series, had a lot of things to retweet about it. And you can see in the second scoring method, when you factor in the retweets, it has a dramatic shift in the positive sentiment of their tweets. The Mets, who are off to a great start of their season, had a similar but not quite as dramatic result as the Yankees, where when factoring in the retweets, you see a shift toward the positive. Some of the challenges I ran into was obtaining the historical tweets, which cost a lot of money, and you're not actually guaranteed to get the entire data set. Another challenge that I had was I was really hoping to prove once for all that all the hate mail coming to Boston was coming from the New York area, but unfortunately Twitter users are allowed to turn off the geolocation feature, which means that I don't have access to that location tagging for each tweet. I also ran into some Twitter rate limiting, which slowed down my ability to get the data in the first place. Sentiment analysis proved to be very interesting field of research with tremendous monetization opportunities. Thank you.